Dead or Alive Xtreme Beach Volleyball was an Xbox spin-off of the popular Dead or Alive fighting game series. It featured several of the game's female characters on a tropical island playing volleyball and several mini-games. It was a moderate success in the US and a runaway success overseas, so a sequel was made, and when I was about 15 or 16 years old, I got my hands on Dead or Alive Xtreme 2, and it was a formative experience for me. Now, Dead or Alive Xtreme 2 dropped volleyball from the name, but not from the game. It just decided to focus more on the dating sim aspect and the collection of minigames. In fact, it included my very favorite wave race game of all time as a minigame. Just a fantastic wave runner simulator with the girls from Dead or Alive. It's way fun, you should check it out. Now, about 6 or 7 months ago, Dead or Alive Xtreme 3 came out. I had to order it from Hong Kong because it never released in the United States. You can watch a whole video I made on that, just click on Jason Schwartzman here for that video. So I did have it pre-ordered and I received it from Hong Kong and played quite a bit of it, but I never had a chance to review it because I am a lazy asshole. But now, here I am with a review, just for you, of Dead or Alive Xtreme 3. Let's take a look. From Team Ninja, the team behind Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive, comes... The premise of this game is about as loose as you might expect. Some of the Dead or Alive girls have been invited to a tropical island, and for some reason they all pack their bags and go. The island is owned by Zack, the screaming Dennis Rodman-like Dead or Alive character of note, who has set aside his differences with these ladies to watch them bump butts together in his pool. That's it. No more, no less. So let's talk about gameplay. The game itself, as with previous entries, is a volleyball game, padded out with a collection of minigames and a dating sim. The roster is surprisingly small, with only 9 of the 15 female DOA characters, an oddly small assortment of ladies and a bit disappointing for such a hyped and anticipated game. One can't help but wonder why in 2016 more characters weren't included when their character models are literal imports from Dead or Alive 5. It just seems lazy. The volleyball game in this entry is, after 2 previous console entries and a mobile version on the PSP, surprisingly unpolished. It wasn't great in Dead or Alive X2, and it's still not very good. It's a step above Pong. Not much in the way of strategy, it is extremely simple, but because of sluggish and at times unresponsive controls, and a partner who is more content to just sit there and do nothing than anything useful, the volleyball is more of a headache than anything else. Matches are either way too easy, or Dante must die hard. There just isn't a happy medium. So already the core game is off to a rocky start. But what about the minigames? Well, not in such good shape either. There are very few minigames to choose from, all of which are fast, either QTE or timing games. Aside from the casino, which we will look at in a minute. The minigames available during the daytime are butt battle, pool hopping, tug of war, beach flags, and rock climbing. You'll notice I did not mention a wave race, which left me rather sore. I was really hoping for that one to return. Now, butt battle and tug of war are essentially the same game, just in reverse of each other. Beach flags is a frantic race to see who can mash X faster, you or the computer. Pool hopping, whether solo or versus, is the only minigame requiring any skill, and rock climbing is basically a God of War boss battle of QTEs on a rocky cliff. Now, that might sound like I don't like the minigames, which is just not true. The minigames are where this game shines. Almost WarioWare level in quality, they are quick, addictive, and the controls are exponentially better and more responsive than the volleyball. I especially like butt battle and pool hopping. But there just aren't that many minigames. It seems to be the ongoing theme here, lack of any real variety. Now, the casino is home to 3 more games: poker, blackjack, and roulette. All are well polished and work just as well as you would expect. You can even place bets to strike it big in in-game currency, which you will need for the one aspect of this game that has plenty of variety: in-game items. In-game items in this game are in the hundreds, from swimsuits to hairstyles to food to lotions that soften or harden the girls' butts. And all of the swimsuits that you might want cost thousands and thousands of Zack dollars. After an hour, this game just becomes a never-ending grind for Zach dollars to get that one swimsuit that you just need. Not very fun. There is also a dating sim aspect to this. Not a romantic dating sim, but more like what I would call a BFF friends simulator. You pair up two girls at the beginning of each 14-day stay and build their friendship over the course of the stay. They also build friendships with the other girls that they are playing with, but not as fast as your partner pair. These relationships, though, build extremely slowly and will only evolve over the course of several playthroughs. Many hours of this game, which, at the end of the day, is not incredibly fun to play. Next, let's take a look at the graphics. The very best aspect of this game are the visuals. Let's get the bad out of the way first. Environments. The environments in Dead or Alive Xtreme 3 leave a lot to be desired. Low polygon rocks and trees with low resolution textures dot this island and make all the various environments look like they're from an Xbox 360 launch title. Hair physics is pretty bad too. And by bad, I mean weird. Like a trip to the Twilight Zone for hair. I mean, what the hell is going on here? The girl's hair also has a terrible habit of clipping through necks, arms, hands, and just about everything that could get in the way. In an age of Tomb Raider reboots, bad-looking hair is just lazy on the character modeler's part. Now, with the bad out of the way, let's talk about the good. The girls, aside from the hair, look absolutely fantastic. Their skin looks almost too realistic, and even behaves realistically. After 2 weeks in the sun, the girls get gradually more tan, and they even form realistic tan lines under whatever swimsuits they've been wearing. If you switch swimsuits often, your girls' backs will become a mess of tan lines. A feature I enjoyed way more than I feel I should have. Fun little stuff like that just makes me marvel at the technology in this otherwise somewhat lackluster game. Their facial animations are endearing, and overall animations are fantastic, and the lighting here is absolutely wonderful. Soft and tropical. The lighting sets the mood of the game as much as anything else. Now, the history of breast physics is directly tied to the Dead or Alive series, with Dead or Alive being one of the first games to have dedicated breast physics. Extreme Beach Volleyball being the first mainstream game to feature independent physics in each breast, so they didn't just move as one object. And now Dead or Alive Xtreme 3 has innovated once again. It may be hard to notice in this video, but these breasts aren't just independent physics objects. They have soft body physics, which, in a roundabout way, means that instead of being two solid objects, they move with many independent points on each breast, allowing them to squish, stretch, and flatten as they come in contact with objects or as gravity acts upon them. A very subtle effect, but one that absolutely makes a difference in realism. Perhaps that is an oversimplification of soft body physics, but I feel like this is as much breast talk as I really want in this video. Those same physics rules also apply to the butts of the ladies, so yeah, ass is hometown. Returning from Dead or Alive 5 is the real-time sweat and wetness. Sweat drips from the girls as they work out and get in and out of the ocean and pools, not just making their skin shiny, but letting water beat up on them. A nice touch in a game with so much wetness. All in all, this game is a visual feast. Now let's talk about audio, shall we? I don't have any complaints about the audio. The music is light and breezy, tropical and fun. It does a good job of setting the mood and doesn't have any annoying songs in the soundtrack. I'm looking at you, Dead or Alive Xtreme 2, which featured music by Hilary Duff. The sound effects are crisp, clear, and they work. The voiceovers are fantastic, with a great cast doing great work. Zach is especially delightful. In the audio department, this game doesn't commit any atrocities and is easy on the ears. So how about that fun factor? Well, the game is fun. For a while. Before the swimsuit grind, when you're just playing minigames for the first time. But that's not the game. The game itself is a grind for Zach dollars and for relationships. So all in all, the game isn't very fun. But I did genuinely enjoy a few of the minigames. So there you have it, Dead or Alive Xtreme 3, a disjointed game. A feast for the eyes with no gameplay variety, and a terrible volleyball game at the center. Minigames are addictive, but there are too few of them. Some were even removed from previous games, such as the wave race and the water slide. The roster is criminally small, and as the game devolves into a grind, playing the same 5 minigames against the same 9 girls for hours on end, you will wish for more, or you will wish that you were playing a different game. I'm gonna give this game a pass. I say pass on Dead or Alive Xtreme 3 unless you just want it for the novelty. And there you have it, Dead or Alive Xtreme 3. Kind of a mixed bag with this game. Beautiful graphically, but sort of falls short gameplay-wise. I would say try it or buy it just for the novelty. It is a fun time waster. But if it's not your thing, I would say just pass completely. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.
この時間大切にしたいな。